Hi, welcome. I've been sharing my research on menopause and my experiences during my own transition to spread awareness and help other women. But I don't think I've ever dedicated an entire video to my own journey through menopause or how I'm feeling today. So if you're one of those ladies interested in hearing all about my perimenopause years and how I'm coping in postmenopause, stick around. I often tell women that I started perimenopause at 45, but looking back with the knowledge that I have now, I'm not sure that's accurate. I think things started to shift a couple of years before that, but it was at the age of 45 that my symptoms became extremely obvious. At about 43, I started experiencing changes like waking up at night, feeling a bit run down, a little bit of absent-mindedness or clumsiness, some minor digestive upsets, all things that could have tipped me off that something was shifting, but because I didn't have any idea perimenopause was even a thing, and my life was busy like everyone else's, I just blew all of those things off and kept on going. Fast forward to 45, when I could no longer explain away the odd occurrences. Perimenopause was slapping me right in the head and I didn't even know it. I was absolutely terrified. The first blow came with a frozen shoulder out of nowhere. I reached up for something one day and the pain was unreal. I honestly thought that I had torn something, and off to the hospital I went. No explanation was ever given. Not long after that, I experienced my first heart palpitation. The fear and panic that came with that is undescribable. Once again, off to the hospital I went. That led to a whole slew of heart tests with a cardiologist, and surprise, surprise, no explanation was ever given. Then the aches and pains started. I practically lived at the doctor. I was diagnosed with tennis elbow, golfer's elbow, and costochondritis, and I was tested for everything from arthritis to autoimmune disease. And you guessed it, no explanation was ever given. I felt like I was falling apart, but I just thought, I'm getting older and things will settle down. I was wrong. The bloating came next. I looked like I was 6 months pregnant, maybe even 8 months pregnant, and it got so severe at times that it was affecting my breathing. Even my doctor was concerned, which really scared me because he had a tendency to dismiss things. Nothing was ever found, of course. A giant spare tire or flab that wouldn't budge, dizziness, sore breasts, nausea, scary memory lapses, debilitating insomnia, dry eyes, dry skin, and a list of other symptoms followed. And the diagnosis of anxiety was born. It was the reason given at most of my doctor's visits from that point forward, and I was treated a bit like a crazy old lady. Honestly, I felt like a crazy old lady, and the health anxiety was severe. And looking back, who could blame me? It was warranted. Not once in all of that time was the word perimenopause ever mentioned to me. I wasn't over 50, and my periods hadn't started shifting yet, so according to the entire medical profession, it was anxiety, plain and simple. It makes me so angry thinking about it now. Imagine how differently my perimenopausal experience could have been if one knowledgeable doctor had have listened to me and explained the possibility of perimenopause. But I digress. I spent a couple of years in that stressed out, anxiety-ridden state, and then the cycle changes started. Any of you ladies experiencing periods know how terrifying they can be. It added an entirely new layer of anxiety. But looking back, it was also a blessing because it clued me into perimenopause, finally. It helped explain away some of the symptoms as well. But of course, because doctors were only focused on hot flashes and missing periods, I was constantly told over and over that it was just anxiety. The scary cycle changes also got me a referral to a gynecologist, which was a true blessing because she was the first doctor ever to mention menopause. She didn't acknowledge a lot of the symptoms as being part of perimenopause, but she did help alleviate a lot of my anxiety surrounding my period changes, and she also helped me when I had a surprise postmenopausal bleed that scared the poop out of me. I somehow made it through to postmenopause in one piece and with my sanity, although I'm not sure how. Are all of my symptoms gone now? No, I still have some discomforts and annoyances hanging on, like paresthesia, dry eyes, tinnitus, and some random aches and pains. But I do have pockets of anxiety-free time now. My supplements are helping to alleviate a lot of my body-wide aches and soreness, and I finally figured out how to shed the menopause weight. I'm 15 pounds from my goal. Most importantly, a huge chunk of my perimenopause symptoms are gone now, and I have a much better understanding about menopause, so I don't live in fear anymore, for the most part. Anxiety still creeps in here and there, and I still dislike crowds, peopling, and other random things, but all in all, postmenopause is treating me much better than perimenopause ever did, even though I still have some struggles to contend with. I'd love to hear about your journey through menopause, if you want to share. How are you doing? I hope you have the information you need to navigate your transition without the type of fear that I went through. I don't wish that on anyone. I do, however, wish you all health, happiness, and peace of body and mind, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye for now.